Howdy folks, Doc here with Last Best Tool. Well, I finally got a hold of one. This is the new Icon Long Nose Slip Joint Plier, PLSJ9, or the item is the 70612. That's what you'll need if you try to find these in a store. There have been a ton of videos out. Actually, Project Pine Hills has an outstanding video if you really want all the gory details about this thing. I have actually not even used it, as you can see. It's still in the package. I was able to go into town. I had to basically meet the truck in order to ensure that I got one of these things. But what I'm going to do is crack it open. Just some real brief observations, but then I want to go into what I'm going to have to call Harbor Freight must know where the bodies are buried. And what I mean by that is it seems that the gloves are off. There don't seem to be boundaries for as far as I can tell, for patents or copyrights or trademarks or something else. There are just so many similarities that it is shocking. So I guess I'll ride that train. And I've got some suggestions for Harbor Freight to knock off some other tools that I'd sure like to see in hands for a lot less. So let's go ahead and cut this guy open. Use this. This is a Klein D2000-48, little side cutter here. But notice what they're doing with that flag now on some other Klein tools. That's pretty cool. So let's cut this open and see what happens here. All right. There it is, standard Harbor Freight stuff. Overall, yeah. I mean, how far away from this would you have to be before you couldn't definitively tell which was which? It seems that this space right here is about the only big difference. And there was a lot of kind of minute engineering that went into the initial design here. And according to Project Pine Hills, there's a chance that Harbor Freight improved on a couple of the things, so maybe they're listening and not just copying. But overall, I mean, unless it's got some shoddy steel, which I doubt, it is probably, in a blind test, you might have a little trouble telling them apart. You know, if you were working on them, you know, with cold hands, I'm not sure you could tell them apart. But anyway, so let's take a look at this through the eyes of, you know, they must know where the bodies are buried. I don't know how they're getting away with it. Maybe because it's okay to do this. And what I mean by that is I started wondering, kind of reading back about the whole Daytona Jack incident, and, you know, Milwaukee suing DeWalt and Snap-on, and, you know, there's all kinds of different lawsuits going back and forth about who owns what. You know, is the 18-volt battery owned by Milwaukee? So that's why everyone's got some other number. Why was 18 important? You know, the colors. You know, I see so many colors now. In fact, if you want, on Amazon, what's kind of, I guess, fascinating to me is you can look for, I don't know if I've got it handy here, a little DeWalt microphone, or little DeWalt speaker. It's a wearable speaker. I don't know where I put it, but anyway, you can find, if you look for that, you'll find all kinds of them in the DeWalt colors that almost look the same through all kinds of different price points from all sorts of different companies, you know, overseas companies. And what that makes me think is that when somebody gets a design, then everyone jumps on it, you know, and tries to ride that train. But here are some suggestions, Harbor Freight. If you've got, you know, carte blanche to, you know, do this, to go after these tool companies' designs, let's start a few things. One, you've already got a plier wrench. How about more sizes of it? How hard would that be to, you know, add a few more to your repertoire? I'm assuming that you're going to come out with a smaller one of these at some point. Might be wrong, but this small one sure is handy. You know, I know you go after the big stuff first, but if you know, want to diversify a little, this would be a hot seller as well. This is one of my favorite Snap-on tools. I don't know if they don't call it the lineman anymore. They might still have a small version, or maybe it's been discontinued, but I just love this thing. It's a little short lineman. You know, a lot of linemans, you know, are pretty big. So I also apologize, I don't know Harbor Freight's line as well as some other tool companies. If you already have these, let me know. But otherwise, a tiny lineman, I think that would be great. How about just knock off this handle? We love these snap-on hard handles. Many people do anyway. We like the colors, we like the shape, we like the plastic. So just build these handles and put them on your tools. Whether it's a screwdriver or, in this case, a pry bar, just have at it. I like orange and green personally. How about this? More titanium, huh? Why don't you add some to, you've got the Doyle titanium hammer. I did a video on that thing, but how about some more titanium tools? You could start with a simple pry bar like this stiletto. I don't think they'd mind if you took this design. It's been around forever. I don't know if they even came up with it, but anyway, that's another one. Oh, any of these little Vim tools like this, they're, you know, clip tools. I'd like to have a greater selection than just the Vim, and maybe once you start using these, are there other tools that would actually work really well in this form factor? So just start exploring that. You know, and these are pricey. You know, you guys could probably sell these things for under 20 bucks without much trouble. Maybe even, gosh, on sale under 10. How about Vera? You know, obviously you've got a lot of screwdrivers and wrenches, but just take this design. All you got to do is, you know, just engineer, you know, this, and then put out a set of these that are a lot more affordable. I mean, these things get kind of expensive, and they have their place. So a lot of people don't own them because they're kind of a niche tool or narrower use tool. But boy, do they work where they work well. I mean, they're great. Mary, knock these things off. These are kind of pricey. I mean, they're great, fabulous, wonderful operation. They found that magic sauce. So just take this thing and write Icon on it and sell it for a lot less. That would be wonderful. How about these striking scrapers? I love these things. They come in two different sets, kind of a narrower set and then a wider set. But they're very expensive. And it would be very easy to knock these off, to just, you know, figure out, cut one open, get the shape, you know, striking cap, all within what you guys can do, and produce some sets for considerably less money than what Snap-on charges for these things, which I don't know for sure. I could have looked it up, but they were in the 30 to 40 range a piece for these. And I should look again, because obviously all the prices have gone up. And then, how about, you know, a modular screwdriver system. You know, there are three different types of handles. There's this solid one, there's one that you can adjust the angle, and then there's a stubby, and then just a whole set of various kinds of screwdriver inserts, all in a really solid ratcheting direction or ratcheting mechanism. And it would be great if you made it in my favorite direction, which is you turn the switch in the direction that you want to tighten. So if you slip up at the front, you don't spin it in the opposite direction and then undo your ratcheting. So anyway, a whole set of these would be great, because these are getting kind of expensive. For Milwaukee, this band file here, unbelievable. I absolutely love this thing, but it's pretty pricey, so it's out of reach for a lot of people unless they have a specific use. How hard would it be to knock this thing off? Or better yet, just build this and plug it onto one of your existing tools. You know, these are just outstanding. I love them. Absolutely love this tool. So it would be great if you could get it into the hands of more people, because this thing's pushing, well, I don't even remember. Was it close to $200, or I don't remember. Anyway, so the Milwaukee band file. And lastly, got to point at you here. You see this? That's an American flag. It would be nice if you had more USA made tools and go ahead and brand them with a flag, because that's okay if they're made in America. Have at it. And that would be pretty cool to walk in and see USA made Icon tools. So that's my thoughts. Somewhere in here, yeah, there it is. That's where it all started, was with this thing. And I'm sure you're like me. When you saw this, that Icon was coming out with it, you gasped. You went, no way, they can't do that. How is Snap-on going to let them? This is obviously, if it's patented, it's obviously within the patent of the Snap-on one. I mean, this took us by storm. And then the little guy, you know, really took off. Everyone wanted it. And now, $25 maximum Harbor Freight price. So there's that. Let me know your thoughts. And with that, Doc out.